So the slide and everything will be posted. I already have all the slides until the half of the course, so I'll post that before class. But today I was kind of in a hurry, okay? So today I'll talk about what this class is about in case you're not sure whether you want to take this class or not, because it's an elective, right? So I'll tell you what it's about and what kind of work you're required to do for this course, okay, to get a good grade. So let me start by talking about the technology, why NLP is a hot thing right now, right? If you look at human evolution over time, it's just getting better and better at technology, right? So we have fire, we have wheel, we have computer, and we have Wi-Fi, and we have cell phone, we have dishwasher, washing machines. We have many technologies that make your life easier now. But if you look back to the technologies that we have, they're quite primitive, okay? They're quite basic. They don't really do really much of an intelligent task that you expect of it. But you guys probably know ChatGPT came by 2 or 3 years ago. That actually changed everything about natural language processing. So now we have AI, artificial intelligence, that actually does intelligent tasks. Question answering, talking to you, correcting your language, do research for you, do homework for you, write essays for you. It can do so many things that we did not imagine before. As an NLP researcher myself, we did not imagine this to happen either. So this is indeed a very exciting time for natural language processing. And for this class, we will talk about all the classical stuff that you need to understand natural language processing, and also the new stuff. So we're gonna learn all the way up to ChatGPT, okay? And how it works, and how you can use that to power other applications. Okay, that's the overview of how we get here. And let's talk a bit more about natural language processing. What is it exactly? So it's basically a computer program, okay, that does language tasks. And in AI, we think of language tasks as the most difficult task because language is tricky. You can express, there's more than one way to say the same thing, all right? So natural language processing is very hard. If we solve it, then we solve intelligence. So let's talk about language. What does NLP, or like a program that knows and understands language, does? So you can think about it as reading, speaking, and talking. So reading. So if a computer can understand language, it could read anything and understand it. Once it understands it, it can do many things for you. It can answer questions based on the things that it reads. It can summarize what it has read for you. It can simplify it for you, okay? So there are many things that you could do if a computer could read text, right? So by having a computer that can read, you can build many more applications based on that. And next is speaking. When we talk about speaking, we have to speak to somebody, right? When we have to speak to somebody, maybe in a group of people, okay? It's a conversation. Usually it's not just one-on-one, it's a group. So for a machine to be able to converse, to have a conversation, that means we can have an application that interact with users, okay? So we have a computer that understands the context, the dialogue, the conversation that we have so far, okay? So if you have a computer that can speak, you can build, again, many applications. So chatbots is a common application for that. ChatGPT, our favorite NLP application at the moment, because it can understand conversation and it can talk back to you. All right? So that's basically the overview of what natural language processing can do for you. So to sum it up, it's a technique for automating any linguistic task, any task that requires the use of language, which covers so many tasks all at once. Okay, back over there, at Faculty of Arts, we call this class Computational Linguistics. Are there any differences between them? Over time, they kind of merge, all right? Back in the day, just recently, computational linguistics, it means you use computational models to understand language. Once you have that model, you can make applications. So when we talk about natural language processing, we talk about how we process language. What is a natural language? It's a human language. Okay, so these two are essentially the same thing now. All right, so there's no real differences between them. If you Google around NLP, when you search for something, sometimes you found this thing, neuro-linguistic programming, which is like an hypnotizing, leadership, marketing, magical, mythical thing, okay? So it's not what we do. So when you talk about other people about NLP, most likely they refer to this one. And that's not what we are doing, all right? So yeah, natural language processing. So we can sum up into two things. So it's a bunch of techniques for computers to process and analyze large volumes of linguistic data. So we will talk about that, on how to process language data today, right? And second one is a technique for automating various linguistic tasks, like when we want to understand a data set. So in this class, then we will cover quite a few pieces of things, okay? To do natural language processing well, you will learn some linguistics. So we will talk about some linguistics today as well, just enough that you could understand how the models work. Obviously, you should know how to program. Hope everyone knows how to program, right, at this point? Excellent. That's one checkbox, okay? So yeah, we will do some programming, all right? And next is computer science. So we will learn some fundamental models that make computers understand languages. And with these three combined, we've got natural language processing. All right, that's why I am in the linguistics department, which is kind of weird, but I could be in Faculty of Science as well, or I could have been here, because it takes a little bit of each thing to make this work. All right, to get the terminology down, all right, so we got artificial intelligence, okay, which we talk about like a lot, right? AI is a hot term right now. So basically, it's a theory, okay, or development of computer system that does intelligent things. So language is one of them, because language is really hard. There's also robotics. I know there's a robotic major in ISE as well, right? So robotics is actually part of AI, because it must be able to navigate the actual physical space, right? And that's also difficult. AI, what else? Games, actually. Games is under AI. So if you have played games, the NPC, those are actually some AI behind it. And back in my day, we play like Pac-Man, we play Street Fighters. Those are like different kind of AI, but those are AI as well. So AI has been around for a long time, okay? But now it's just get a lot easier, a lot better. So NLP, okay? So it's a branch of AI. So like now people kind of confuse them, because NLP gets so good that it kind of take over as AI. It's an AI for languages. You can just think about it as AI for languages. And at the end, we'll talk about LLM, which is large language model. It's large language model is an NLP model, okay? So we'll spend 2 weeks on this, 2 or 3 weeks on this, but yeah, we'll develop the theories that lead up to that, okay? Okay, let's look at applications. So this course is designed around the applications of NLP and what you need to understand to make those applications in the future. So applications of NLP, you can split it into two things. The first branch is text analytics. So you have text data and you try to understand it. And next you want to make AI products, ChatGPT, Google Translate, Google Search, and many more. So this course we have 5 themes that we want to explore. So 5 applications, so to say, that we want to explore. First one is text classification. Text classification actually is actually used a lot. It's probably one of the frequent applications of NLP. First one is sentiment analysis. You might have heard of this thing. Sentiment analysis is to use NLP to understand what people think about something, think about certain policy, about certain products, certain aspect of the product, or their attitude toward certain things like political parties. So it can be applied in such broad area. For example, for marketing. So if you want to know what people think about your brand versus your competitors, sentiment analysis is great. So you can get the data from Pantip, from social media, from YouTube comments, from Facebook comments, and then use NLP to analyze the sentiment. To analyze the sentiment, we call that a text classification task, because you have a text and you classify it into good, not good, good, neutral, or not good. So given the text, you want to classify it into one of the 3, okay? And example of system that uses sentiment analysis is we call social listening. If you heard of social listening, it's actually a really cool thing. So, so they have a big data pipeline that pull the data from Twitter, from Pantip, from Facebook, from YouTube comments, from any social media into one place, and then run NLP at large scale, and then you can make a plot of the sentiment and the mention that you put in over time, so you can understand almost in real time what people think about, say, your new product, your new event, or your new brand, or your company. So this application actually sells really well, and there are many brands, but we might not have used it because it's used by usually companies, not by consumers. And text classification is also used for many things. For more, this one you probably use that every day, but it's in the background. So moderator, YouTube comment moderator. So it will automatically flag which comments is a spam, it's a scam, or it's inappropriate, okay? And this is done automatically, and we cannot do it manually, because if you do it manually, then it's kind of overwhelming, so you cannot do it fast enough. Yeah, but for Facebook, actually, they do both. They make the machine flag all the things, and then they have humans review some of the classification that NLP system makes. So basically, any platform that you use that allow you to write text and click post, so any social media, any review sites requires this, because not all humans are good. So this is very good for protecting your platform from not being unusable. I remember it's not that long ago when I was an intern at Google, actually. YouTube, they just enable YouTube comments, and somehow they did not think that people would be so mean, so evil, that they post a bunch of like racist, hateful things on the comment section. It become like a joke for the entire internet. And then they make this NLP system, and then YouTube comment is great again. That's what we see now. So it's an essential component for platform that users are allowed to type things, which is almost everything now. Okay. So to do that, we need to use machine learning. We have learned machine learning, right? Maybe? Yes, very good. Very good. So we can go fast. That's great. Okay. So machine learning. We're going to learn a lot about machine learning, and we will focus on the models that are used specifically for NLP, which is quite different from what you have seen in data science, I think, right? Okay. And you will work with language data as well. So we look at the errors that the machines make so that we can improve the models. And that will be another theme for this course. Next, language modeling, okay? Language modeling is actually, we use language model every day. If you type on the phone at all, it would do this kind of thing, right? It kind of predict the future of what you want to type. Or if you, and it will also correct the past. If you type something wrong, it will auto-correct that, right? Because Thai is impossible to type on a small device because, you know, some people have like fat thumbs, right? If you have fat thumbs, then you are more likely to make an error. So the keyboard on these small devices actually work because we have NLP. Okay, so this is called language model. So it's a model that predicts what you want to type next. And here's your favorite language model. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, these are a language model as well, but we call them large language models. They are basically language models, but they are large, okay? And it can do a whole lot more, okay? So we will learn later how large is a large language model, all right? Hope I don't have to demo ChatGPT to you. Okay, we're on the same page. So yeah, we'll get to ChatGPT. Next, information retrieval. So we talk about this application as well. Information retrieval is a beautiful word. It's a big word for search. And search seems mundane, okay? Mundane means like boring and everyday use, mundane, okay? M-U-N-D-A-N-E, very good word. It's a mundane, such a mundane thing for NLP. But if you know this though, you use it every day. Think about TikTok. When you want to know something, you type. I heard that people your generation use TikTok for getting answers now, right? You don't go to Google anymore. Anyways, so if you go to TikTok and you search for something, you have little box thing, right? So you have that little box thing so that you can search for things. So yeah, it's there, and it's also everywhere. It's in Facebook search. It's on the Goda if you want to search for hotels. It's on Skyscanner if you want to search for flights. It's on LinkedIn if you want to search for people. You want to search for companies and work. So search is actually everywhere. And search is on Google, okay? Google is Google now because they make a really good search engine. And we still use that today. So we'll look at the back end of it, how it all works. And I would say Google search engine is one of the world's wonder in the modern history. And it's a world wonder because the search team at Google is so large. It's like hundreds of thousands of people. It's so large that nobody knows how it works anymore because everyone works on a small piece. You know, they might work on how to split the data into 400 copies around the world without losing anything. That may be one team of 100 people. Maybe one team that do the actual NLP for search, maybe another team that do. So it's a magical, wonderful thing that we don't know how it works anymore. It's like pyramid, you know. Nobody knows how pyramid was constructed. Same with Google. We know so little about it now, and no single Google engineer would know how that whole system works. So that's a beauty of this invention. Okay, so we have to talk about information retrieval and the very algorithm that make Google search works. Oh, speaking of search, search is not about typing in keywords anymore, right? Now, when we want to search for something, you just type in the whole questions now. That's the new behavior that we saw even even before we have large language model. So for example, if you actually want to know when this university was founded, you probably don't want to go to Google anymore, because if you go to Google, then you have to click on the web page and read it. Who has time for reading these days, right? When you have AI. So you use AI as in large language model. So people outside here will just call it AI, but we will call it large language model, okay? Because AI is too broad now. So question answering. So large language model would know the knowledge that are broadly known already. But if you ask them something like, about this person, it's me, by the way, that's my name. I'm just a person. I'm not on Wikipedia. I'm not known by many people. I'm just, a normal, ordinary professor in an ordinary, this is an ordinary university, in an ordinary university. So large language model should not know about me, but it actually can answer it correctly. That's exactly my education background, although I just asked really broad question. Where did Attapol Thamrongtanari study? Maybe, bachelor, PhD, I didn't even ask, but it can do it really well somehow. And if you know this part, this is from Claude, by the way, so it does the search. So search is now even more important because we combine it with question answering system. So in the second half of the course, we'll talk about question answering system as well. That's how it can answer essentially any question that you could Google and find the answer for, which is very powerful. Oh, next, information extraction, okay? Information extraction, because text is messy and sometimes you only want to know certain things. So for example, if you want to summarize the news, just who does what where. That's what information extraction is about. So if you have text like this, everybody can read Thai, right? We do a lot of Thai NLP. It's a skill that I want you guys to have because you work with Thai text. Okay, great. Good to know. I'll come up with some English examples as well, but we'll do some Thai NLP here too, okay? I'll change to English data, fine. Because Thai is harder, so that's why I picked Thai, okay? So this string, our Prime Minister for many years, 9 years, right? He has a very, very lovely name that we like to refer him to. But it refers to this man, right? But we can refer to him in many ways, okay? And Lung Tu is one of them. Sayตึกไทยคู่ฟ้า, right?ตึกไทยคู่ฟ้าwe only have one of it, okay? It's not a common noun, it's a proper noun. It refers to a real building in a real place. Okay, so information extraction is about relating text to the real world so that we can have that knowledge. All right? Next, language generation. We actually talked about language generation before. So it's a model that can generate text. What is it? ChatGPT, right? But there are other things, okay? Like machine translation, we had that way before ChatGPT, and it worked better, it improved over time very quickly to something that we have now on Google Translate. Google Translate and Bing Translate are arguably the best translation system we have in the market. So machine translation is a kind of language generation, but we take in the language that we want to translate, and we generate the translation for it. So we need a different kind of model for that. Speech recognition as well. So when you use Siri, when they try to understand what you said, it's also a language generation task because it changes voice, which is the sound wave, into string. Okay, so it also generates text. All right, so these are the 5 applications that form the modules of this course. So we will learn about how these things work. And I hope you all can relate to these applications because I'm sure you have used them every day. But I want to go a bit further too, when you walk away from this class by the end of the semester is what else can we do if a computer understands languages? There's a whole lot more now, right? With ChatGPT, people talk about what? It will write songs for us. It will write marketing campaign for us. It will write novels, poems. What else will it do? It will make games. NPC will start talking their own personality, different every time. You can have what? You can have a therapist that's not human, that's completely AI. You can have a friend that has certain persona that you like. You can have an advisor. You can have a simulated interviewer when you want to go for job interviews. You can do many things when a computer understands languages. And this is a perfect era to learn NLP because we now have a breakthrough. So a breakthrough is a new innovation that changes everything. And large language model is a breakthrough in NLP. So this is a very exciting time.